So we're getting packed up and we're headed out to Kentucky. So on this trip, we have some ulterior motives, I'll say. You guys know Gavin. Gavin helps me with a lot of these projects. He's never been to Kentucky. So him, myself, and his dad. Gavin is not my son, despite what it appears. And we're gonna go get the concrete piers in for the cabin. So it's ready when we take it down there. And we're gonna do a little four-wheeling at Hollerwood, big off-road park, very close to our cabin. Well, I think we're ready. We'll see you in Kentucky. Okay, we made it. I am here. Actually, I got here yesterday, but I was doing some other stuff today. Gavin and his dad, Brad, are on their way here. They'll probably be here in about 3 or 4 hours. I think we'll be out of daylight today to get these piers in, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark them out and see how much I can get done by myself. It was supposed to be beautiful tomorrow, but now they're saying rain on and off all day. So let's see what we can get done. So if you remember when we were building the cabin, we had 3 beams under the cabin, and I added another one. I think, a little water trickling out there. I think we're gonna go back to the 3-beam deal. We're just gonna put them in a little bit different place to give it a little better support. So we need 2 piers for each one, a total of 6. We gotta be able to handle 6 post holes, especially here where they only gotta be 32 inches deep. Well, here it is. This is Jamie's bulldozer and his excavator, and you can see all the way through the trees there, if you guys can make it out. That's the first cabin. Right down there is the shed where we came from, just to give you some perspective. That's neighbor Doug's house across the road. All right, I had to run and get my my blueprint. I drew this at home so I know where the mechanical closet and everything, spacing on the piers. I measured it on the cabin. I wanted to get it right. Oh, it's like 17 feet. So, all right, before you guys jump all over me and tell me, hey, you didn't square those up, you didn't pull your 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, whatever triangle, it really doesn't matter that much. So this is a square that's 17 feet by 12 feet, essentially, the 4 corners. The deck itself is 23 by 17. So it overhangs 2 foot on each side and 3 foot on the ends. I think it's 4 foot on one end and 3 on the other. So it really doesn't matter. What matters is the elevation. You know, if this is the house and this is the beam, if they're like this all over, they still hold it up just fine, but they've got to be flat. I'm gonna dig some of these, but when we actually set them, I think what we're gonna do is set them, how do I say this, in increments of 8 inches. So they'll all be 32 inches below grade, but the tops of them, I want them all to be the same or 8 inches off from each other, because that is the thickness of a cinder block. I'm gonna try and do it without putting the wood posts in the ground. I know it'll probably be fine, not ideal. So you got this little auger. The last time at that cabin, at the Sunset Ridge, we were making the window bed, if you watched any of those videos, and it quit working. We were also doing the deck. So Gavin said, before we throw that thing out, let's open it up and see what it looks like inside. Turned out it's got a shear pin in the motor, and that was the only problem. I am 80% sure it will spin, 60% sure it will drill a hole, about 20% sure it'll drill all 6. Well, so far we got nothing. Let's try the other battery. Okay. Well, we got one battery that works. Not a bad little auger, especially if you were into like ice fishing or something like that. You just got to take your time and go slow. I think that's why it broke before. If you try and jam it in there, you'll have a problem. But it's real thin metal and very fine thread, if that makes sense. So we just kind of keep cleaning it out so we're not trying to hog as much at once. And well, quite frankly, I don't want to lift, you know, an entire post hole's worth of dirt out at once. So let's give it a shot, see how it goes. I guess if it doesn't work, depending on how close to the end we are, we either got to dig them by hand or go rent a piece of equipment. Let's hope for the best. Forgot my clamshell just in the shed down there to clean it out when I'm done. Made my circle about the right size. Ooh, it's a good way to take out these old knees. Okay, that'll be good enough for now. I don't know how deep this thing is. Oh man, we gotta go all the way down. That's got a rock or root in it. I'll probably finish that one by hand or come back to it. I think I'm gonna get these other ones done before I break it. This is a two-man job and a young man's sport. I'm going to get the clamshell. You guys want to come with? The age-old debate is whether or not this is a digger or a cleaner. And I guess no one would argue that you clean the hole out with it, but I see a lot of guys digging the hole with it. Maybe in some parts of the world that works. By us, you use a spade to dig, this to clean, an auger to dig, this to clean. It's the way I was taught anyways. My dad is a concrete guy for, I don't know, ever. And we did a lot of piers for decks for carpenters and stuff like that. And always some sort of auger or just a spade and clean it out with that. That's the bottom anyways. All right, well this one is number 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are good. There it is. Big old root. This shovel too gets sharpened and it's got teeth on it, all metal. It is a good root chopper. You can have that. I'm gonna have some bruised knees when this is over. I'll throw my back out first. Whoever's gonna comment that I need to go easier on my back should be here to help me, because believe me, I would like to. All right, I'm gonna sit here for a minute and contemplate my poor life decisions. I got all 6 of these piers drilled and cleaned, so we're in good shape. We're gonna take some sonotube and make rings for the top. How many people I've watched on YouTube do things like this? Man, you're gonna get a Mr. Clean Gleam here. Sonotube does not go in the hole. Sonotube is a trim for the top of the hole. I suppose there's some instances with big ones and bridge construction and things like that where you do it. But for this purpose, you want just a trim ring, you know, however tall you need to go to be on grade. But when you put a sonotube to the bottom of the hole, between the outside of the sonotube and the dirt, you know, that hole does not fit it. You don't drive them in with a pile driver. So you want the concrete to be able to touch the dirt, and it fills every little nook and cranny in there. It actually has some tooth to it on the jagged edges for uplift. Not that I've ever seen a pier come out, unless somebody wanted it to. But anyways, that's my PSA, sonotube does not go in the hole. Look who I found. Gavin and his dad. That's Gavin's dad over there hiding from the camera. So he's the one responsible for raising this young man, good or bad. I take no credit for it. So we're gonna get started laying out some of these piers. Gavin is fixing the clutch in the Ranger Blue, so it needs new clutch, weights, belts, all the thing, and he's smarter than me, so he's gonna figure it out. All right, well, we got our Sackcrete delivery. We got about 10 bags in the back of the Ranger, a couple in Gavin's machine here. We're going to get the water. Got that in a tank, dipped it out of the creek. We'll see. It's a little tough working on the side of the hill here. Kubota ain't gonna make it. Not with those turf tires. I think Brad's down getting a hoe, mix the concrete. He'll bring the Ranger up and we'll just stick the water in the back of the bucket and get going. We've only got these 6 piers. Here is how far off the grade is. You can see this one is like 28 inches out of the ground, and we will still have to put a cinder block on top of it. And then you got this one's on grade. The 3 at the top are on grade, and we'll cut the one down there to within a cinder block height as well. We'll get that set, but these 2 12-inchers, we wanted that for the ones sticking out of the ground. Put some rebar in there. I have to mix a lot of concrete for that, that's for sure.
Okay, so we came back down here to fill the water with the concrete. But first I gotta throw all the bags away. So we took 15 gallons last time, and that only made about 3 piers, and those are all small ones. So we, I did 25 this time because we have one really big one to do. So,
All right, we're gonna cut some rebar. These bigger ones here, I'll feel a little better with some rebar stuck through them. So cut them off with the partner saw. You could just imagine that I got ears and eyes on, what's it called, Gavin? Safety squint. I think the safety squint. There, now we show this to the building inspector. Yep. Run out and at least we get 3 on.
We're gonna get them all done.
All right, well, that's it for us. We got all the piers in and we're going riding side by sides. We got a couple hours of daylight left. We'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, well, I guess I better go. See you on the next one. I have to take that boy to the hospital.